Hi North Haven, this video is going to go over how to use the Flippity flashcards to replace Quizlet. We can't use Quizlet obviously because of the privacy issues, but Flippity doesn't require any student login and it still has a lot of different games they can play as well as the basic flashcard functions that Quizlet has. So once you come into Flippity, to do the flashcard, you're going to come over here on the left and you can either look at the demo. You can also look at the instructions, and most of these things I'm going to cover in the video, but if you do well with text instructions, these are here. I'm going to add a couple more things like how to put in Google Slides, but everything else is in here. You can also from here download the template, or make a copy of the template, which is how you're going to start your flashcards. You click template, click make a copy. And from here, you'll see the default, and this is just so that you can see how it works. This is side 1 of each flashcard. This is side 2. And then if you want to have different colored cards or different colored text, you can set that in these columns. If you delete them, the default will just be a white card with black text. So notice over here that there are links to Wikipedia and YouTube, and you can include things like that in your flashcards. You can also just type in like you would normally one side and then the next. A nice feature of these flashcards is they will read themselves out loud, and they can read themselves in different languages. So if you are a world language teacher and you want your students to be able to make flashcards that speak in the world language, it is pretty effective, and you just come up and select whatever language you want that side of the card to be read in. It will default to US English. So I'm coming over to one that I already put some examples in. Here you'll see I have an audio file. I also have a YouTube video, an Equatio image, a Desmos graph, a Google slide, Google Drawings, and then this is just regular writing, but I did it in 2 languages so that you can see how the audio works for a second language. The recommendation for making an audio file is to come to this website, Vocaroo. It'll give you a URL link at the end that you can put into your flashcards, which is how these work best, is with links. To do it, you're going to click the record button. I can't click the record button right now, unfortunately, because I'm already doing a video and it messes up my audio. But if after you click the record button, a box will show up here, and then it will have a link. And right to the right, there'll be a little copy icon. And if you click that copy icon, it will copy the link to that audio file, and you can then paste it right here. And what will happen then is when the students get to that flashcard, it will give them a little play button that they can click to listen to whatever you were saying. Students can also use that to embed audio files into their flashcards if you want them to practice saying things, for instance, for world languages. And this website doesn't collect any login information, so they can use it. The next one is if you want to put in a YouTube video. So to add the YouTube video, you would think maybe that you would use the URL from the top. And actually, to make it work in the flashcards, what you need to do is come down to share underneath the video, and then you need to copy this link. So notice that this one is just slightly different than the one that's up at the top in the omnibus. To copy this, just click copy, come over, and then paste it into the cell that you want it to be in. To add an Equatio image, it's pretty straightforward, but you will have to do a little bit of editing. So for instance, if I come down to my equation editor and I type whatever I want, insert, I can insert the math, and that looks like it will work, but that actually won't turn out right in the flashcard. So what I'll need to do is come up here and delete the equals image parentheses quotation mark at the beginning, and then also delete the close parentheses and the quotation mark at the end. So basically, I just want the link to the image and not the extra information. Once you delete that information, it will show up on the flashcard correctly. The next one is a Desmos graph. And even though Equatio lets us use Desmos graphs, they don't insert well from Equatio. So what you'll want to do is come to Desmos and go to the graphing calculator. You'll put in whatever graph you want to have inserted, come up to the right and click the Share Graph icon, copy the link, and then you can just paste that link directly into the cell that you want to add it to. The last two are the Google Slides and the Google Drawings, and you have to do the same procedure for both. So this is a slide that I made to insert into flashcards, and the only issue is if I don't set the page to the right settings, then it won't show the whole image. So before you start creating slides, what you would want to do is come down to Page Setup, change this. It will default to widescreen. You're going to change it to custom and make it 4 by 3 inches. And if you do that, it will show up perfectly on your flashcards in Flippity. The next thing you need to do is when you're done making your images, you'll come to File and then come down to Publish to the Web. This has already been published, but if it hasn't been, this button right here will be yellow and you can click that to publish it. You're then going to come to Embed and copy this link right here and then paste it in the cell that you want it to be in. The same thing for Google Drawings. So if you come to Google Drawings, before you start, come down to Page Setup, make Custom 4 by 3. Here you can see I put in an image of something I wanted students to practice, and then I just put an orange text box over whichever part I wanted them to practice with. Then to put it in, I do the same thing. I publish it to the web. I come to Embed, and I'm going to copy this link right here and paste that on the flashcard that I want it to appear in. The last one, I just typed in the front and the back. When I'm done, I come down to File, and I'm going to publish this spreadsheet to the web. Again, I've already published it, but you would click this button right here. And notice that down here it defaults to automatically republishing when changes are made, which means that if you have to go in and change something or edit it, it will automatically change for the students in Flippity. Now, if you don't want that feature, you can turn it off, but it will default to that. You're not going to use the publish link for your students. Instead, you're going to come down to the bottom of the sheet where it says get the link here. And this is the link you'll give to your students. This is what's going to turn the sheet into the flashcard game. So you'll just mouse over it and then click copy link. You can put that in a Google Classroom or Seesaw. When the students come in and click that link, this is where it's going to take them. So notice this is the Vocaroo audio. This is the sample audio for my Google Slides flashcard. And the students just click play to listen to it. If they want to flip the card, they click right here. And then they can click this arrow to go to the next card. Same thing with the YouTube video. They can just click play.
Hi guys, I'm Nancy.
And it will just play the video for them. This is what the Equatio image will look like if you correctly edited it. This is the Desmos graph. And notice the nice thing here is if I click, I can drag along the line and see what the points are too. This is the slides. So notice that with the 4 by 3, they can see the whole image. And this is the drawing. The last one is just the typing. And here's what it would sound like.
Das Quietscheentchen.
Which is pretty accurate.
The squeaky duck.
And also pretty accurate. So the audio does work pretty well. They also can come here and see it as a list. They can practice. So here they would listen to the card and then type in their answer. They can do matching. Now notice that the slides and the drawings do not work as well for the matching, unfortunately. For the matching, they just click. And if they're correct, they'll turn green and go away. And if they're not correct, they'll stay red and they won't go anywhere. The last is More, which has all the different Flippity games. Some work better than others, but the students can play around with them if they want to and play different games with the flashcards. So those are all the steps for making the flashcards, and you can do them, but you can also have your students do them as a project and share them with you. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to me, or you can ask questions in the comments under the video if you want to. We have enabled those for this channel.